Hi everyone, it's Lynn here from Inside Knowledge. This video is a continuation in this series where I talk about the physical well-being aspect of building resilience. In the last video, I talked about nutrition and I talked about food, but I also talked about information and the kind of information you're feeding your brain with. In this video today, I'd like to talk a little bit about exercise. Now, I've talked about managing social media and I talked about putting social media back into its box. Well, with exercise, it's the opposite. I'd like to take exercise out of its box. We tend to view exercise as something we do for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, or whatever our plan is. So we join a gym, we go to a class. It's something separate from our everyday life. And really, it should be the opposite. Movement is natural. Movement is what we are designed to do. What is abnormal is the amount of time we sit stationary. So I would encourage people to just look at building movement into their day. I did a really neat challenge recently. I think it's called Snackercise, but it's basically saying, little moments, even 4 minutes of exercise where you have your arms above your head and you get your heart rate up. Get up from your desk and dance if you can. Just do something. Is a really great idea. So build in little micro moments when you move and exercise and get your heart rate up. That's really good. Another way to build movement into your day is to include it into other activities you do regularly. So when you're talking on the phone, stand up and walk about. Another suggestion, which I have tried and it is possible, is doing squats while you're brushing your teeth. Just have fun with it and experiment with, how can I build some exercise into this activity? I tend to have music going when I'm cooking dinner and I dance around the kitchen and get a bit of exercise that way as well. So I'm certainly not saying don't have a formal exercise program. I mean, that's great. And it's really good because you can target certain areas. You may be doing cardio, you may be doing weight bearing exercise, you may be focusing on flexibility and stretches. So it is good to have a formal program in your day so you know that you're getting that baseline. But then it's a really great idea if you can include more movement in your day. And I think that the more movement you include in the day, the more likely you are to exercise because it becomes more ordinary. It becomes just something that you do, a continuation of what you're already doing in your day. Take a look at some of those ideas, because I know that exercise is one area where we put up so many roadblocks. We just struggle. We just struggle to maintain a practice, and even if we get started, we often falter within a few months. And there's lots and lots of reasons for that, and we do talk about that in my course on physical well-being. Some of the roadblocks, some of the ways we think. Janina Purcell, who is the guest expert on that course, she gave a really good way of flipping things on their head. Often we'll be lying in bed and we say, I won't go for a run today, I'll do it tomorrow. She says put that on its head and instead say, look, I'm going to go for a run today, only today, and then tomorrow I'm just going to reassess things. And I love that idea. And I also love the idea of breaking things down. So run to the next tree or the next lamppost, or walk to the next vantage point or spot. Just if it's getting hard, just break it down. And another really good piece of advice that I had regarding exercise is to tell yourself that you're an athlete. A lot of us have an idea of ourselves as one thing, and exercise isn't very congruent with the ideas about ourselves. Maybe we weren't that good at sport at school, and so we don't consider ourselves athletic. But it's important that if you're going to take on an exercise program, that you see yourself in that role, and that it becomes natural and something you do. So there you go. There are a few ideas for you. We go into a lot more detail in the course, and we hear from Janina Purcell and also some of the guests that I interviewed on my podcast who've got some really great ideas about health and well-being. Thanks so much for listening.